Thank you all for sticking with us all year. Can't wait to see you next season. Go Fever. So let's get into it. It's starting to look more and more official. Caitlin Clark will not be joining Unrivaled. And honestly, that shouldn't surprise anyone. The rumors have been circulating for a while, and now we're finally hearing some solid reasons why. Everything seems to point back to Indiana, and it's becoming clear that this move, or lack of one, is all about strategy. I've been telling folks for weeks that she wasn't going to do it, even when others ran with the idea. People close to the situation had been saying for months, "Don't bother pushing that Caitlin to an Unrivaled story, it's not happening." And now, sources like Front Office Sports are confirming the same thing. But what's really making headlines are the new insights coming out, especially from a recent interview Rachel Adia did with Dave Portnoy. When she asked him about Caitlin and whether he'd ever want to partner with her or help her build her own league, he didn't hold back. He said he'd give her $100 million if she wanted to start her own thing. And he'd be her agent in a heartbeat. But then he said something important. He doesn't think she'd actually do that. Why? Because of those high-end blue-chip endorsements. State Farm, Nike, Gatorade, Portnoy even compared her to Tom Brady, saying she avoids controversy and has been a true pro for both the Fever and the league. That one phrase he used, "good trooper," really stuck with me. It says a lot. Caitlin is playing the long game. Remember that ankle injury she called the worst pain she's ever felt? Let's be honest, it didn't look that serious. No crutches, no boot, no brace. She was walking the same day. So when people say she's being a good trooper, that tells me she's doing what the team and league expect. She's protecting her image, staying professional, and making calculated moves. Could she have returned sooner? Maybe even suited up for a playoff push. Maybe. But this isn't just about pain, it's about politics. Skipping Unrivaled isn't a shock, it's a smart move. She's prioritizing long-term goals. Team USA, her legacy, her endorsement empire. She's not chasing short-term plays, she's building something bigger, something lasting. And honestly, I respect that. And while some fans might feel disappointed or even confused about her not joining, it's a high-profile league like Unrivaled. You have to see the bigger picture. Caitlin Clark is operating on a different level. This isn't just about playing basketball. It's about building a brand, a legacy, and long-term influence both on and off the court. When you've got partnerships with global giants like Nike and Gatorade, your moves aren't just personal, they're strategic business decisions. Every step she takes is calculated to align with her image, her marketability, and her future in the game. Think about it, she's the face of a WNBA franchise. It's one of the most talked about rookies in league history, and already a household name across the country. Jumping into something like Unrivaled, a new league still trying to find its footing, might bring short-term buzz. But it could also clash with the carefully crafted path she and her team have laid out. And let's not ignore the role Team USA plays in this. Being on that roster, representing the country on a global stage, possibly leading the US in future Olympics or World Cups. That's legacy defining. That's the kind of spotlight no startup league can match. So whether it's skipping games to rest that ankle, staying quiet when the media frenzy kicks in, or saying no to the Unrivaled hype, every move Caitlin makes is rooted in a long-term vision. She's not just playing chess, she's playing the whole board. And as much as we all love the drama and excitement of these big announcements and what-ifs, sometimes the smartest play is the one you don't make. Caitlin Clark knows exactly what she's doing, and if the rest of us are smart, we'll stop being surprised and start paying attention. What makes Caitlin Clark's approach so fascinating is how seamlessly she's balancing the demands of being both an elite athlete and a cultural phenomenon. Most rookies spend their first year trying to adapt to the speed, physicality, and lifestyle of the professional game. Caitlin, on the other hand, is managing that while simultaneously navigating endorsement deals, intense media scrutiny, international attention, and the weight of being labeled as the savior of women's basketball. That's not just pressure. That's a whole ecosystem orbiting around one person. And instead of letting that consume her, she's setting the tone. She's dictating the narrative rather than reacting to it, which is rare for someone so early in their career. Think about the way she's handled the season so far. Whether it's the nights where she lights up the scoreboard and sends arenas into a frenzy, or the tougher stretches when the team struggles and critics circle like vultures, her focus hasn't wavered. She doesn't allow herself to get pulled into unnecessary distractions. The decision to not join Unrivaled isn't just a scheduling choice. It's a statement. She's signaling that she's not going to chase every spotlight that comes her way. Instead, she's choosing where and when to shine, ensuring that her presence actually means something every time she steps onto a court or into a new partnership. That kind of discipline isn't accidental. It's the product of a clear vision and a strong inner circle that understands how to play the long game. And let's not forget that WNBA is evolving, and Caitlin Clark is right at the center of that transformation. Her arrival has brought record-breaking ratings, sold-out arenas, and unprecedented attention to the league. She's not just a player, she's a catalyst. That's why aligning her brand with stability and global stages like Team USA makes perfect sense. It's not about avoiding risk, it's about amplifying impact. By staying the course, she strengthens her leverage, making every future decision, whether that's joining a new league, launching a foundation, or even owning a team down the line, that much more powerful. In many ways, Caitlin is rewriting the rulebook for what it means to be a modern basketball star. This isn't the era where you just lace up, play 40 minutes, and hope the endorsements follow. She's part of a new generation of athletes who understand that their influence extends far beyond the box score. Every interview, every post, every absence or appearance is part of a larger blueprint. And the beauty of it is, she's not in a rush. She's pacing herself for longevity, for a career that doesn't just peak early, but sustains its impact for years to come. The bottom line? Caitlin Clark's moves might not always match what fans expect in the moment, but when you zoom out, they make perfect sense. She's positioning herself not just as a superstar of today, but as a figure who could shape the entire landscape of women's basketball tomorrow. It's calculated, it's visionary, and it's exactly why, whether people love her, question her, or can't stop debating her every decision, everyone's still watching. What's truly remarkable is how Caitlin Clark has managed to maintain authenticity through all of this. Despite the massive spotlight, she hasn't tried to be someone she's not. She's competitive, sharp, occasionally fiery, and unapologetically herself. In a sports world where many young stars are groomed to stick to media-safe cliches and avoid controversy at all costs, Caitlin has embraced her role with honesty and confidence. When she speaks, people listen, not because every word is perfectly scripted, but because it feels real. That authenticity is a big part of why brands, fans, and even critics can't take their eyes off her. She represents both the skill and the spirit that modern audiences connect with. She also understands the power of timing. It's easy to get caught up in the instant gratification of big headlines or viral moments. But Caitlin seems to recognize that true influence isn't built overnight. It's cultivated by carefully choosing her moments, whether it's stepping into an international competition, taking a public stance on league issues, or sitting out to prioritize recovery. She's building a career that feels intentional at every turn. She's not chasing noise. She's creating impact. And that's why even her silence speaks volumes. When she doesn't comment on a trending topic or doesn't participate in a flashy new venture, it's not out of disinterest. It's often because she knows the value of letting speculation build while she focuses on what really matters. Another crucial piece of the puzzle is her relationship with the Indiana Fever organization. She's not just another player in their rotation. She's their franchise cornerstone, the centerpiece around which they're rebuilding. Her choices inevitably affect the team's identity, their marketability, and even their strategies for the future. If she were to join an off-season league like Unrivaled, it might create scheduling conflicts, physical strain, or brand clashes that ripple through the entire franchise. By prioritizing rest, development, and alignment with major global platforms like Team USA, Caitlin isn't just protecting her personal trajectory, she's ensuring that the Fever's rise is sustainable. It's a partnership that depends on her leadership both on and off the court. And she's handling that responsibility with a maturity beyond her years. And make no mistake, the eyes of the basketball world are on her every move. Rival players analyze her game, brands track her market value. Media outlets craft entire narratives around her decisions, and fans treat her updates like breaking news. Few athletes in recent history have commanded. It's also important to understand that Caitlin Clark is emerging at a unique moment in sports history. The landscape of women's basketball and women's sports in general is changing faster than ever before. The surge in media coverage, the exponential rise in viewership, and the growing commercial opportunities are creating a once-in-a-generation platform. And Caitlin isn't just benefiting from that wave, she's one of the primary forces driving it. Her presence has acted like a spotlight, drawing new audiences who might never have tuned in before, and her performance on the court keeps them coming back. She's bridging the gap between casual sports fans and die-hard basketball loyalists in a way very few athletes, male or female, have managed to do. What sets her apart is how she's leveraging that moment. Many athletes step into the spotlight and simply ride the momentum until it fades. Caitlin, however, is actively shaping it. She understands that this era isn't just about individual greatness, it's about cultural relevance. By carefully aligning her career with powerful global brands, respected institutions like Team USA and the WNBA's efforts to expand its reach, she's making sure that her personal rise contributes to something larger. Every sold-out arena she plays in, every record-breaking broadcast she headlines, adds weight to the argument that women's basketball deserves the same stage, investment, and attention as its male counterpart. And then there's the leadership aspect. Caitlin isn't officially a team captain or a league spokesperson, but in many ways, she already operates like one. Her performance inspires her teammates, her composure sets a standard, and her business moves create a template for other young athletes to follow. She's showing future stars that you don't have to say yes to everything that comes your way to stay relevant sometimes. The power is in the strategic no. By declining certain offers, like joining Unrivaled right now, she's sending a clear message. Patience and vision matter. She's not here for a quick headline. She's here to build an empire that lasts. We can also look at the ripple effects of her decisions. When Caitlin chooses not to participate in a new league, it doesn't just affect her. It shifts how fans perceive that league, how sponsors approach it, and how other players think about their own options. That's influence on a scale few rookies have ever had. If and when she eventually does decide to explore opportunities outside the WNBA or Team USA, it will likely be on her own terms and at a moment that maximizes both her personal impact and the growth of the platform she's joining. Until then, every calculated move she makes adds another layer to her narrative. This is why so many observers describe her as bigger than the game. It's not a cliche, it's a reflection of how her decisions resonate far beyond the court. Whether it's a subtle choice like taking extra rest during the offseason, or a headline-grabbing moment like signing with Nike, each action contributes to a broader strategy. Caitlin Clark isn't simply reacting to opportunities as they come. She's architecting a future that aligns her personal success with the advancement of the sport. That kind of long-term visionary leadership is rare, and it's exactly why her journey is so compelling to watch. And that's exactly where Caitlin Clark's power lies, in her ability to shape the future rather than merely exist within it. She's not just another talented player making her way through the league. She's someone whose every move has the potential to redefine what's possible for women's basketball. Her choices are setting new standards for how athletes can take control of their careers, their brands, and their legacies. By thinking beyond the next season, beyond the next endorsement, and beyond the next viral moment, she's creating a blueprint for sustained excellence and cultural relevance. Her journey is about more than wins and losses. It's about influence, vision, and timing. Caitlin understands that true legacy isn't built through quick bursts of hype. It's forged through consistent impact. strategic positioning, and the courage to stick to your plan even when the world expects otherwise. Whether it's deciding not to join a flashy new league, choosing where to focus her energy in the offseason, or carefully managing how she engages with the media, every decision feeds into a larger story she's writing, one where she controls the pen. In the years to come, people will likely look back at this phase of her career not just as the rise of a star player, but as the moment when a generational figure began to reshape the ecosystem around her. Her influence is already being felt in attendance numbers, broadcast deals, youth engagement, and corporate sponsorships, and she's just getting started.